President Cyril Ramaphosa authorized an increase in the number of soldiers deployed to hotspots to 25,000. This comes after certain sectors of the security cluster and intelligence were criticized for being ill-prepared and not responding to the threat of violent unrest quickly. Dr. Johan Burger from the Institute for Security Studies joins us now to talk to us more on this. Good evening, Doctor, and thank you so much for your time tonight. Let's first begin with the response that we then saw to the violent unrest that subsequently took place for several days. I mean, as we speak tonight, I'm seeing some reports of some of shops in KZN that are still burning. Do you think government was up to the task?
No, they clearly were not up to the task. And I think the president, in his address yesterday evening, summed it up quite well when he said the government and the state security services were ill-prepared for what happened over the last number of days. So clearly they were not prepared. Clearly they did not even expect this. So clearly they were not informed in terms of intelligence about what was about to happen. So no, we were not ready for this.
And we saw in the week when State Security Minister Ayanda Dlodlo was briefing the media, saying that there is some information that they had and they gave that information to the SAPS. What should they have foreseen and known around this time? Because if they later then, through the president, are saying they were ill-prepared, it's the mixed messaging that's really leaving a lot of people with questions.
Yeah, you see, it's difficult to say now what the situation is. According to the Minister of Intelligence, there were intelligence available which they shared with the police. The police minister at the same press conference, I think that was on Tuesday, acknowledged that they had the intelligence, that they acted speedily. But this does not correlate with what we see. News bulletins and social media and so on. So apparently now there's a lot of intelligence available, so after the fact, there's lots of intelligence now about persons being involved in orchestrating all of this and so forth. But that intelligence, either there were not enough timely intelligence available, and that the police failed to act on this in time, or they were not the kind of intelligence available.
All right, Dr. Burger, I'm going to ask us just to pause there for a second. I need us to try and fix your audio a bit. We're struggling to hear some of what you're saying to us tonight as we try then to really make sense of what exactly should government have known during this time, and also just to understand really this mixed messaging. What does it do then to the confidence of those that the message is then meant for, which are members of the public who are really not comfortable with the situation and really got a sense that government may have not been in control of the situation? And also listening to the president tonight, yesterday, in fact, here on News at Prime, you would have heard him then. He was also talking about just how they are going to extinguish all the raging fires and they will make sure that the situation returns to normality. He even said that they will not be afraid to act against some of those that are found to have instigated this particular unrest. And you would have seen then some of the calls throughout the course of the week as for government to then release some of the names, or even all of them, of the 12 instigators and where they are right now and what the role that they then would have played in terms of instigating this unrest then would have been. So there are a lot of questions tonight, and I do think that you are back, Dr. Burger, and possibly able to hear me better right now, let's talk then about the mixed messaging from that press conference we were talking about on Tuesday, because at that press conference we were told information was handed to police and police were saying that they acted, and then days later we then hearing, in fact hours later after that press conference, we hear the Minister of Defence coming out to say that they were caught with their pants down. You then hear other ministers coming out to say there were some failures, and then the President finally going to KwaZulu-Natal and also then admitting last night that they were poorly prepared. Does this mixed messaging send a message to South Africans that government has everything under control?
No, it does not. Clearly, government failed. Its security services failed. And as the President said yesterday evening in his address to the nation, there will have to be proper evaluation of this whole situation, and we need to determine what went wrong, why did it go wrong, and how do we fix it. And so these are important issues for South Africa. I'm also concerned that the police do not have a contingency plan in place. So even without good intelligence, when the first incidents of violence started, the police should have been able to have a plan in place. They should have been able to deploy in terms of such a plan. That also. So clearly we were not only ill-prepared, we were completely unprepared for this situation. And now we have to take a very good look at the situation and determine why and how did things go wrong and how we prevent this from repeating itself.
And when we look at that high-level review panel report on State Security Agency, we saw a concern around the politicization of this particular institution, thus then leading it to not being able to function in its core function then. How much of that has got us to the point where we are right now, where there appears to be a battle still with intelligence gathering?
Yeah, you see, it's a complex situation with a whole range of investigations and reports over the last number of years. The police, we started out in 2012 with the National Development Plan, looking at the police and the criminal justice system. There was in 2018, I think, a report by Minister Sydney Mufamadi and his panel that looked at the security agency, also making a whole range of findings and recommendations. And from where we now sit, very, very little, if any of these investigations, but we do not appear to be able to implement them. So what's the use? What now happened is it's the wake-up call that we've been waiting for, and hopefully we can on those recommendations.
All right, Dr. Burger, thank you so much for your time tonight, and I certainly do hope your words do not fall on deaf ears as you say that this is the wake-up call that we needed, and to ensure that even from this point on, a lot is done to restore the trust and also confidence of those in our communities who have seen and borne the brunt of this particular unrest. Dr. Burger, thank you so much for your time tonight. That's Dr. Johan Burger from the Institute for Security Studies in Justice.